this fight to keep healthcare subsidies in the government and renewed as we go into the new year. And there's a rift in the Republican Party between Mike Johnson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mike Johnson is continuing to fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene on this so-called healthcare plan from Republicans. Now he calls it absurd, but let's see if he'll be specific on what his plan is. Take a look.
Last time you were here, we talked about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who had some real frustrations about this. Where is the Republican plan? I know you two had talked. Well, she posted this on X this week. She says, Johnson said he's got ideas and pages of policy ideas and committees of jurisdiction are working on it, but he refused to give one policy proposal to our GOP conference on our own conference call. Apparently, I have to go into a SCIF, referencing a protected intel sharing type place, to find out the Republican health care plan. And there are a lot of exclamation points there.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's absurd. Obviously, we're not going to be on a conference call explaining all of our plans and strategies for healthcare reform because they're leaked in real time. Literally, when I have a conference call with all my members, it's tweeted out by journalists. They're supposed to be private, but they're not. And so Marjorie knows that. She knows she can come into my office any day at any hour, and I'll lay out everything for her. The committees of jurisdiction, the people who specialize in all of this, have been working on this around the clock for a long time. In fact, we published 60 or 70 pages of healthcare reform ideas in 2019 when I was the chair of the Republican Study Committee, the largest caucus in Congress. Our ideas have been out there for a long time. We're formulating the final plan that will bring down premiums.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted this on X. The American people are getting crushed by skyrocketing health insurance costs. My family's policy jumped from $800 to over $2,400 a month, more than our mortgage. And it's about to get even worse in January. Democrats shoved Obamacare down our throats, but Republicans have done nothing to fix the disaster it created. I'm calling out my own party because this is unacceptable. We need leadership, a real plan that will bring down premiums and put the American people first again. However, she's of course not slamming Trump, who's been promising this amazing healthcare plan for years. When campaigning on his first term, he said healthcare for everybody. We saw how that turned out. But just this weekend, he had an interview with 60 Minutes where he wouldn't answer the question. I'm willing to work with the Democrats on it. The problem is they want to give money to prisoners, to drug dealers, to all of these millions of people that were allowed to come in with an open border from Biden, and nobody can do that, Trump said. He then criticized Obamacare, saying it was bad healthcare at far too high a price. He said he wanted to fix that, though, if Democrats would vote to open the government. So you're saying your plan is to tell Democrats to vote to end the shutdown and that you will put forward a healthcare plan, CBS correspondent Norah O'Donnell said. The president said no, that he would simply work with Democrats on the issue. But Mr. President, with all due respect, you've been talking about fixing healthcare since 2015. O'Donnell jumped in to add, the president said that is true, but that he can't because of the Democrats. Now, JR, I'm inclined to believe that this problem might not be a lack of cooperation from the Democrats, considering this is the party that tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act multiple times during his first term without ever proposing an alternative form of health insurance. What do you think?
Yeah, Johnson is also guarding whatever kind of plans he claims that they're gonna have with some level of secrecy. He said, I can't talk about it because the reporters might leak it and actually reveal to the American people our great plans. Why wouldn't you want your fabulous plans to be leaked to the American people so they can have some confidence in what it is that you're looking to propose once you get this government reopened? It's because they have no ideas. They don't want to have those ideas. It's not that they can't think of anything. Anything that they bring up is more of the same sliver of lies that Donald Trump tells. We've already lowered drug prices 1,500, 1,600, 1,700%. They just run these same things. So honestly, the only curiosity I have as far as the government reopening, which I don't see happening anytime soon, is how they're gonna find a way to lie around what they said they would do once the government reopens. I mean, not only you brought up Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh my God. I'm glad you went down that approach of pointing out how everything she says she doesn't really fully mean. I'm just trying to figure out where the Marjorie Taylor Greene was that signed on to that big, beautiful bill that also was looking to strip more people of their healthcare coverage now that she cares about healthcare coverage. Because as she points out, my people's healthcare coverage went up 800 to 2,400. Suddenly, she gives a damn. Maybe she should have a little bit of like a remembrance about what is that she's already done, maybe apologize for that and say, I put us in this position. I helped prop up this guy and Mike Johnson, who lied about people's health care and people that are going to be kicked off of Medicare and Medicaid, all that, and say there was a bunch of undocumented people or 26-year-olds in their mom's basements. As she's signed on to all that, before anybody believes the BS that she's talking about now, maybe we should listen to her apologize for getting us here in the first place. She gets nothing from me until she does something, bro.
Yeah, I don't buy her sudden like face turn for this kind of stuff. But I'm so glad you pointed out the dynamic here. So the Republicans and Mike Johnson especially claim that they have a plan, but they can't talk about it. Now think about everything else that Trump has proposed and the Republicans have proposed over the last several years. Cutting taxes, the big beautiful bill, no tax on tips. These are things that in their base especially was popular. They would not shut up about it. It became a meme. It was ingrained in the platform, in their talking points, in the MAGA base's culture. You mean to tell me that these people who won't shut up about things that they are excited about suddenly have something that's going to be good and they don't want to talk about it? No. The reason that they don't want to talk about any alternative is because they know it'll be unpopular. And ultimately, it'll just be ending things that are good for people, like subsidies, the lower cost. It's not the ideal plan. It doesn't cover everybody, but for people who do benefit from those subsidies, it helps lower costs. All they're trying to do is take away. They will give nothing. They will provide nothing, and they will solve nothing. That's what they want to do. They're working at the behest of private health insurance companies, the pharmaceutical industry. Anyone who can benefit off of your illness, your treatment and recovery, that's who they're working on behalf of, not you, the person. JR, any final words before we go to break?
No, I'm not really. It's just pretty obvious. The one thought I did have was, listen, if they're talking about how they can do all this great healthcare plans, maybe someone asked them the details, like, are you looking to maybe harm these healthcare corporations that are overcharging and doing all this stuff now that you guys are saying you're looking to avoid? And why would those people continue to donate to you and back you up if you're looking to undercut their profits? It just doesn't make any sense. Their motivations don't match up with what it is that they're saying they want to do, which more matches up to the fact they have zero plan. The previous to even the ACA, their healthcare plan for Americans was emergency rooms. Don't forget that. Rush Limbaugh said it. That this is where their position was. Nothing. That's what they want to go back to.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.